Hey y'all, it's Day. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. This is going to be another celebrity reading. The purpose of these readings is just to see what their spiritual team, what type of advice would they like them to know, and what we could learn from that. So, in that, we learn a little bit more about, what's going on in their life, the things that challenges that they face, and how we can utilize that for our own lives. And today, the tarot deck that I am using is the Somnia Tarot. I love this deck. Very excited to use it. Very excited for the message today by Nicholas Bruno. So yeah. Also want to thank you guys for the support that I have on my previous to this video reading. When you guys like the video, it lets me know that the message was received. So as always, as usual, if you receive this message, like the video, so I know that the message was received. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I haven't really shuffled this one, so let me go ahead and shuffle. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect me as I walk my path. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What needs to be heard? What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of in regards to this message? A lot of cards is coming out. There it is. Okay, so the under the deck undercurrent energy is the Ace of Wands in reverse. And the top of the deck undercurrent energy is the Death card in reverse. Very interesting. So with this coming out, we can see that there is some resistance. There is some not understanding. This is representing someone that's not understanding that there is a different way, a new approach to go about something. They may be afraid to take a certain step that may be unappealing but good for them. So definitely the energy of like eating your vegetables. So we'll keep this over here. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like a new and a better way to move forward, a new and a more efficient way to move forward. So let me go ahead and spread these cards out. I didn't leave myself that much room for the spread, so let me go with this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, where do I start? I have a lot of cards coming out here. I'll start at the top of the spread. At the top of the spread here, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. And I'm hearing the word guilt, but I'm not wanting to acknowledge it. And I feel it in my chest area. It's the energy of like maybe being embarrassed about something and not wanting to acknowledge it, or trying to like shove it down, or knowing that you need to do something and having too much pride and not wanting to like address it. It also feels like needing to owe someone an apology, but not wanting to do it because of pride reasons. Like trying to figure out a workaround. So I'm getting this energy of someone or this celebrity, whoever this reading is for, needing to apologize to someone, and um, maybe something about apologizing to this person will open up avenues that were previously open but are now closed, and having a level of pride where they don't want to apologize to this person, but it may be beneficial for them to be able to do the things that they need to do more easily. I'm seeing that it'll open up avenues and open up resources or ways to maneuver or move forward in a way that would allow them to be more successful, but them not wanting to do it or being in resistant to it. And so they're trying to find workaround. It's like taking the scenic route, taking the long route to getting things done, when things could be more simpler. If they were to just apologize, they would be able to, just go through more effectively. So this person is trying to create like a map, or like, it's like if he's trying to um he's trying to like create a plan. Like say that, for example, I had got a rental car. They gave me an electric rental car, and they, you have to look on this map for where all the electric charging stations are. But depending on what type of electric car you have, if you don't have a Tesla, they can be few and far in between. So you really have to plan your trip and know what you're doing, and like do your due diligence and make sure these charging stations are actually operable. Make sure that do this one charge a fee? Is this one free? Is it a slow charger? Is it a fast charger? And it takes so much time and energy and due diligence just to plan your trip, because you can literally put yourself in a position where you'll run out of charge, or you won't make it to the next charging station, or you'll spend all your miles getting to the next charging station and it won't be what you expected, or there'll be some kind of inconvenience. It's giving that energy where there's charging stations, yes, but something about the distance is off to what you have, or the timing is off, or the possibility that it may not work. So you're kind of like really traveling on edge. It's giving that energy for this celebrity who is a male, where it's very like the odds are kind of against him. It's not a very solid plan just because of the circumstances. So it's very interesting. But yet and still, this person is trying their best to learn how to maneuver this way. Underneath this Nine of Swords, where this person is resisting doing what would be most beneficial to them, but would require them to kind of be more humble or put their pride aside and address the issue. Because I feel like this person does owe an explanation or an apology to someone specific. Underneath that, we have the Hangman in reverse. I'm hearing the words due diligence. And it looks like this person in their head is trying to rationalize or it's kind of like you've heard the expression putting all your eggs in one basket. It's kind of like an energy of overcompensating for something with something else. So again, they rather not apologize to this person because of their pride. So they're trying to overcompensate with due diligence, even though they don't really, it's like they're trying to sacrifice something that's not even really related in order to compensate for something else. In this case, this person is trying to be very due diligent about this map, creating this plan, and they're trying to exercise their work ethic through that when really they just kind of need to surrender to the situation for what it is and acknowledge it. So they're in resistance with this hangman in reverse, and the hangman can represent a martyr or someone who sacrifices themselves for their greater good or for others' greater good. It can require someone to pause when they rather take action. It can represent discipline as well. So this person has is like trying to exercise, it's like misplaced discipline. They're trying to show or exercise discipline through planning rather than discipline through humility. So in a way, it's kind of like unnecessary sacrifice or suffering in vain. And I'm also getting like someone who is close to them that also works for them, like maybe a confidant that works for them that makes things happen for them, kind of encourages them like, are you sure you don't want to just do this? I can set the appointment, for you to talk to this person and just apologize or address, or it's either an apology or an explanation that this person doesn't want to provide. And it's kind of like they could shed more light on the situation or their perspective on a situation, a past action that perhaps offended this person, that kind of has the keys to how they can move forward more easily in their life in regards to their goals and ambitions that they're trying to accomplish. And I'm hearing set the record straight, but they're in resistance to that. But I do see them getting counsel from someone that works for them to kind of do that. Okay, so right on the neck, on the side of this Nine of Swords in reverse and the Hangman in reverse, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords can represent kind of like an unexpected ending, or it's kind of like when someone has this energy of like someone has already made up in their mind that they were going to go all the way, but something happens and they kind of get killed or they get defeated. But it's kind of giving me this energy of like someone dying and not realizing that they're dead. So I've heard some people talk about actual human deaths that can happen that way, or maybe ghosts that, not ghosts, but like spirits that get stuck on the earthly realm. I guess it's a theory that like sometimes we can be so attached to the earthly realm, our children, our family, our situation, that we can kind of be in denial about our death. And they're saying like that's how, some people feel like there's houses are haunted. It's like they don't want to let it go. They don't want to let this material world go. It's giving me that energy where this person is not wanting to accept defeat. And defeat and death in the tarot world, in the spiritual realm, is always kind of elusive, as in, yes, there may be a physical death, but with the Ten of Swords, we always know that there is life after death. There is transition. There is a new beginning. So right now, this person is in denial about their defeat, but I was getting the imagery of like, say, someone in the battlefield. They have in their mind and their heart that they were going to defend their country, their territory, their region with all their heart. And there's this tunnel vision where someone is had that on their mind, that no matter the cost, that cost being their life, that they're going to run straight through. So I'm seeing this imagery of someone in war and with the mindset of, I'm defending my country, my region, my territory, not realizing that they were taken out by the other party. And so it's kind of like their soul is still going. Their soul is still going. They're still fighting. They're swinging swords and everything, but they don't realize that they left the game. Like they're physically gone, and they're just still fighting. So yeah, this person, this celebrity, this male celebrity is experiencing that. They're in denial about the gravity of the situation, and it feels more like, you know how like people can get, or celebrities can get canceled, or they can get blackballed. I'm getting really, it's in the middle of blackballed. It's not necessarily blackballed as in someone in the industry just didn't like them and had it out for them. It's like they offended a lot of people, fans, society, as well as whoever this is that kind of has the keys to them navigating more smoothly. But yeah, they're in denial about it, and they're just still trying to, like I said, there's this misplaced diligence, this misplaced work ethic, where they're saying like, I won't be defeated, I won't allow this to stop me. And while that's admirable, their spiritual team would rather them, or would rather encourage them to realize the impact, the importance of sometimes having to backtrack and apologize, or backtrack and acknowledge your wrongdoings, backtrack and provide someone an explanation. I've been getting this idea of this explanation a lot for this person throughout the reading. This is something that it has been a reoccurring issue for this person. They don't like providing explanations. They're the type of person that they don't like to repeat themselves. Everybody probably has an issue with pride, like things that they hold dear to them. Like some people, it's loyalty, like they're loyal to their family and they expect their family to be loyal to them, and that's kind of like off limits. But eventually there comes a place, a situation, a circumstance that kind of challenges that. This person, their communication is very like degenerative, unhealthy, um, just a lot of pride and maybe perhaps trauma related to their communication, having open, vulnerable, and honest communication with other people. And it's like he'd rather hold that in. Okay, so underneath this Nine of Swords and this Hangman in reverse, where we're talking about this person withholding this explanation and trying to find other routes or avenues around the situation, because they kind of want to prove that they can do something or still get something done or still be successful without this person or this industry. We have the Ten of Coins in the choice point position, and we have the Page of Swords in the resistant position. So I'm glad this came out, because this is what I'm speaking about in regards to the Page of Swords can represent, all the swords can represent communication or mental clarity. The page is kind of like the beginning stages of developing that communication or establishing mental clarity. So with it coming out in the resistant position, this is signifying that they are in resistant to acknowledging or developing their communication skills. Honest communication, upright communication, truthful communication. And if you can see in this particular deck, it's a man next to a tree with a sword sticking in the ground. I love this imagery because he has like this little, I think it's called a telescope or something where you can see far, far away. And it's a great depiction of the Page of Swords, as in taking a closer look into something, realizing a situation for what it is, realizing there's this like underlining thing that they're not realizing, that they're being encouraged to look further into. And it's giving me the energy of like justifying. You're justifying your actions, and maybe you can do that in a very artistic way. It seems like this person can be good at rationalizing why they did or didn't do something, but it's still not beneficial for this situation. It's giving that very well may be so. However, that's what it's giving me. And so it's like they're kind of compromising the longevity of their career. They're kind of compromising their ability to build, to create in the future. And I feel like this is a very good lesson for this person. But the thing is, it's kind of like they're prolonging it, the lesson. They're prolonging the lesson. And I'm getting imagery of like a big, like maybe a Hummer or some kind of utility SUV, some kind of utility type of vehicle stuck in the mud. And what's interesting about it is because I think I'm using the right term. It's kind of like not a sports car as in like a like a coupe or anything, but like a SUV utility, like a Range Rover, like one of those big trucks that are supposed to be able to go over mountains and go over like rocks and stuff, gravel, and would also be good enough to drive over the beach without getting stuck. So I'm seeing this vehicle that is made specifically to be able to get through more challenging terrains. It was made for that specifically, having issues getting through the terrain. So that is telling me that it's something about the approach, it's something about the way. This person has not exercised, like, it's like someone who self-appointed themselves to tell everyone the truth, and they tell themselves that, well, it's the truth, but not it's like they use the truth in order to, it's not that they're trying to be mean, it's just that they don't care about being mean. It's giving me that energy. It's that person that is so infatuated or tied to the truth that they don't give a fuck about who they hurt. And it's this energy again of justification, using the truth as a reason to not give a fuck and just bulldozing over everybody and anybody because it's the truth. It's giving that energy. So this person was made to go the distance. They were made to be acknowledged for how they can overcome certain situations. But the way that they're going about things has them being depicted as this utility truck, this utility vehicle that they can't make the journey because they're stuck in this mud, in this quicksand type of energy by their own doing. So yeah, this person is meant to build. They have a lot of, I'm hearing accreditation. They have a lot of things that they're meant to accomplish and be acknowledged for accomplishing. And it's coming out in the choice point position. So it kind of seems like, again, they are trying to intentionally push it down their conscience. They're pushing down their, they don't want to acknowledge that they feel like explaining themselves. They feel like communicating honestly. They feel like having to go before someone is like a knock on them as a man or as a person. They feel like they would lose dignity by doing that. So again, there is some form of pride regarding their communication. And that is depicted again with this Page of Swords. Not seeing the bigger picture, not looking close enough into the situation to realize what's going on. So underneath that, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Yeah, Four of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing the word disdain. It's very interesting. Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups can represent someone who is kind of like experiencing apathy or like a disconnection or disassociation from the situation as a whole. Or it can represent someone who is in contemplation. It can represent someone who is not seeing the bigger picture through the lens of an avenue that may be unappealing. But with the Four of Cups coming out in reverse, I was like, I'm really trying to understand this energy, and I heard the word ignorance. So the Four of Cups is representing ignorance. It almost feels like for this specific card in this deck, the way that it's depicted, it feels like making things harder than they need to be, carrying unnecessary burdens. It's like making the journey harder than it needs to be, carrying more weight than is necessary. It's like, what is the word? Because of pride. Okay. So next to that, yes, 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 yes. I could not depict this better. Right next to this Four of Cups, where they're making things harder on themselves, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands in the traditional tarot is depicted as this man with 10 wands or stick on his back, and he's kind of carrying it on a hill, and there's this feeling of being burdened or having great responsibility. Sometimes a good thing, sometimes a negative thing. I love this deck. I love how this is depicted. It's like, it's unnecessary. This doesn't have to be the case. This doesn't have to be the situation. This doesn't have to be the scenario. You're making this harder than it has to be. It's like, it's giving the energy of this person is like telling themselves they're a martyr, but it's like, it's giving this energy. It's like they tell themselves that they're doing it for this reason, because we were talking about earlier how this person can kind of like rationalize in their head and even express it to other people. They can give good reasons for why they did something, but it doesn't mean anything because they're not telling it to the person that it needs to be told to, but they feel like they don't need or want to give an explanation to that person. I don't owe that person an explanation is the energy. So it's kind of like they're trying to tell themselves or move in this way where they're telling themselves that they're a martyr and that they're doing this for a purpose, and it's not. It's not. But yeah, so with these two combined, this is the energy that this person is in. To no avail, I'm hearing. For no reason. Okay? So towards the bottom of the spread, directly underneath this card that came at the top of the spread, the first card, which was the Ten of Swords, where we acknowledge there's this energy of someone not wanting to give up, someone who is still keep going, not realizing that they're already dead. Directly underneath that, at the bottom of the spread, we have the King of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords is known for having great communication, being very skilled through their communication, through how they maneuver through the world and through their interactions with their communication through their words. But also, to be balanced, it requires mental clarity and practices that help them establish or maintain their mental clarity. This person is an intellect. They know how to think. They know how to figure things out. They are not imbalanced in a way where it causes them to act before they have fully thought things out. They're not impulsive because they know the repercussions of being impulsive. This King of Swords is coming out in reverse, signifying that this person is imbalanced in their mind, in their mental capacity, in their ability to exercise their patience regarding situations that require them to interact with other people. They're not good with their interactions with other people, with communicating with other people. And it's all because of their pride. There's someone that rather have, because we're talking about a celebrity, so most likely they have a team. I did get an indication of one specific person that they kind of trust enough to communicate things to, who is advising them to take a different route. But it's like, it's giving me this energy of someone who they'll have their team talk to someone for them in situations that would be more beneficial if they talk to that person directly. Okay, on top of this King of Swords in reverse, we have the Eight of Wands. And it's coming out in the choice point position. I love how different decks, how different people depict the traditional tarot cards in a different way. It's very eye-opening. So the Eight of Wands in the traditional tarot is just the wands. Kind of look like they've been thrown, and it can represent communication or movement. In this deck, it's kind of like hanging in the balance type of energy. I forgot what those things are called, the chandelier. So it's giving me the energy of someone watching their own demise. And the demise is not so heavy, but it's kind of like having the ability to do something about your situation, but not wanting to do that, anything but that. And so they're kind of like, it's giving, I'm hearing chopping block. You've seen on those cartoons where like there's like this axe or something is getting closer and closer to the rope, and if it cuts that rope, or when it begins to cut that rope, it's like tied to something else, like an iron block that's going to drop onto something that leads to something that leads to something else that ultimately causes whoever is looking at its demise. It's giving me that energy. And it's like they can do something about the situation, and they're still in this contemplating or resistant type of energy. and they're still kind of trying to figure out to themselves if they're a martyr, because they've been telling themselves that they're a martyr, that they're doing this for some kind of bigger picture of purpose, but they've never actually expressed, even to themselves, what is that purpose. And that's how you can tell the difference, because it's giving denial and this person is telling themselves that they're doing it for a greater purpose, even though they've never even acknowledged or realized what that purpose is. Not realizing that it's just pride. There's no, and I'm getting referred back to this person that works for them, that is their counsel. Even this person is like, what is the reason? That Cardi reference where it's just like, what is the reason? Like, I'm still not understanding your thesis. What is the, like, what is the reason for this suffering? And they don't even know. But in their energetic body, they're just in this disassociated thing. There is this kind of trauma response that this person also has, where they're like, it feels like in the past they have been able to do this practice. Like, when you go to negotiate something, anything, but I'm getting like a car, there's a lot of like roadmap references and the utility vehicle references. I'm sure you guys have been getting. But so this one is for like going into the dealership and this art of negotiating. And in negotiating, sometimes it gets to this point where neither party wants to budge, and he has been using this kind of tactic, I guess, of being silent as a way to get the other party to talk, or get the other party to reconsider or to change their offer. And I see that he's utilizing that tactic right now in a situation where he needs to be that party that kind of changes their offer. And I'm hearing the phrase stand down. And I'm getting now that the other people that are close to him are kind of like asking him to make a move. So now I'm getting this imagery of like a war. There's two parties. This person is being approached by the other side of the war or the fight. And it's giving this energy. I'm not sure what, I know I've seen it before, but I'm not sure like what was the reason for it. But it's this energy of like this side of the party is like being encouraged to like stand down by his orders, by the leader's orders. Like stand down as in don't move, don't fire. And the other team is approaching and they're getting closer and closer, and he's supposed to give the call, but he's not giving the call. And in their loyalty to this leader, we're supposed to stand down. And it's that energy of like they're waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting. The other party's getting closer and closer and closer. They're getting ready to fire, and they're still waiting for the call. And it's almost like his party feels like that he's testing their loyalty to him, because they feel like they should be able to move by now. And it's like they're seeing all these darts coming at them, and he still hasn't given the call. And they're kind of like looking at him like, what's the plan? Like, what is the plan? So yeah, it's giving me that energy. And so his most close person that he trusts that works for him is like, what is the plan? Like, we need to make a move. Very interesting. So on the right of all of this, we have the Hermit card in reverse. This person is drowning in their own emotions, and I am hearing the word ambitions. They're drowning in their own ambitions, that it feels like their ambitions or their goals are kind of like misaligned or just wrong altogether. And I use the word wrong not necessarily loosely, but it feels like it's not the best word. But it's like going back again to this idea that was coming through earlier in the reading of, it's like exchanging something for something else. And it's not necessarily that it's less value, but it doesn't correlate with what's going on. So earlier we were talking about, what was it? This person, it was like, oh yeah, they're trying to substitute their due diligence and trying to find a workaround when they could just apologize. Like they're trying to use that to substitute, but it doesn't suffice. So it's going back to this, like I'm getting someone exchanging cups. You're trying to kind of like bargain or something for something else. So now I'm getting this imagery of like my partner plays a lot of games where they have to like, sometimes they're forging or finding resources, and then they have this one person that they can go to in the market where they can exchange goods and stuff. And sometimes the nature of this exchanging with this person who sells stuff is like they do exchange things that seem like they they're not correlated, but they still hold the same value. Like, um, for lack of better things, it's like, okay, you want this sword or you want this tool, but maybe you have some berries that are medicinal, and maybe in other circumstances this person wouldn't exchange this for that, but maybe he has a sick daughter or a sick mother, and so he exchanges this this axe or this sword. It's really giving like it doesn't matter what it is, but it's a weapon. He in other circumstances he wouldn't exchange it, but it's something about, yes, it has the value. It's not a question of if these berries have the same value, but it's more about, does it fit the situation? Does it fit the needs of this person? And there's this thing of like something is not being satiated. Whoever this person that he needs to apologize to or provide an explanation for. And it's like, it's giving me this energy of like, in other circumstances, this celebrity, say for example, he had the money for this axe, this weapon that he wanted. But the person behind the counter at this time, for whatever reason, he doesn't care about the money. He needs something that is valuable. Maybe he met his goal. He met his goal for the month. So he doesn't need money and he doesn't give a fuck about your coins right now. But because you have berries that's medicinal for his sick mother or his sick daughter, he cares about that. So in other circumstances, he wouldn't give a fuck about these berries. But for whatever reason, he does. So it's giving this energy of this celebrity, this male celebrity. He doesn't realize that because this is something that he has done in the past. this is a pattern that he's done before. We also talked about how he's kind of like choosing to be silent in a negotiation as a tactic to get the other person to kind of lower their price or offer a better deal. Um, that is something that has been working for him in the past, but it's not working now, just because it's not meeting the needs of this person that he's trying to get this whatever that he needs to move forward more efficiently. I feel like that was a lot, but it's giving that energy. It's very beautiful, because it's like in other circumstances this will work. And what I'm trying to relate to you guys is that that's what this male celebrity is not understanding. He's not understanding that these coins have value. Like, you tripping. Like, why you not taking this? Like, are you dumb? He's just not realizing that the other person on the other end of the deal doesn't need that right now. He doesn't need it. So yeah. And why is that coming through the Hermit in reverse? Because it's kind of like putting him in a position where this loyal team, this loyal crew around him are also questioning his decision making, which is kind of compromising in a way their ability to maintain loyalty to him. Because again, going back to this depiction of war, his side versus another side, they're getting closer and closer. And as loyal as his team is, it's just like he's not being rational, and they know he's not being rational, and that makes them feel like he's compromised. Like, they're feeling like, you're crazy, like you're insane, you're not I don't know the word. It's like, I can't follow you because you're not making sense. So yeah, we have the World card here as well. Hold on. Hey y'all. Okay, so a lot of time has passed. I had to like stop because there was other things going on, and I was contemplating just closing out the reading, but there were so many cards here, so I want to kind of try to finish if I can. Um, Also, if this message is resonating with you, like the video so I know that the message was received. Let's see. So next to this Hermit card in reverse, where this person is kind of like just walking on a lonely path that they really don't have to take, because now it's making their team, the people that are closest to them, that kind of help represent him, or help him move along, or like now kind of they feel like they're kind of being forced to abandon him, and they don't really want to, but they're kind of viewing him now as like insane, or not, like the decisions that he's making, it just doesn't make any sense for why they would continue to stay beside him. Right next to that, we have the World card coming out. So it's kind of like this energy of completion, or a chapter closing. From their perspective, it's like, okay, well, is this going to be the end of the situation? I guess from their perspective, they feel like we're getting so limited right now, where the journey may have to come to an end, because the options that are available right now are so scarce. And it's like, you're not, for his team, it's kind of like, you're not giving us much to work with at this point. So on the right of this World card, we have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is all about achievement, accomplishment, being celebrated, recognizing yourself, and also being recognized by others. directly underneath that, we have the Three of Coins. I'm hearing the word recognition, but there's something about not working together, not being work with a ball, if that's a word, not being someone that is viewed as being able to work with, like hard to work with type of person. So that's how he's kind of being viewed or perceived by others, by his team. It's kind of like his team is like, we can only do so much, but there's certain aspects of this business or that would allow us to experience mobility or being able to move forward that requires him to do his part. So they can only do so much, and right now they're like, we need you to do your part. Okay. On the right of this Six of Wands and the Three of Coins in reverse, we have the Nine of Cups, and I'm hearing the words washed up. So it's kind of like his team feels like he's taken a beating, or his image, his reputation has taken a beating. Or it's just kind of like reconfirming there is some, like, there's a need to kind of like fix his image within his industry or his platform. There's a need to kind of fix his image, his reputation, how he's viewed by others, how he's perceived, how he moves. And this lack of willingness to do that, this Nine of Cups is just representing how people see him, view him. There's also this aspect of maybe other people not wanting to work with him. His ability to network is limited as well. So above this Nine of Cups, we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Okay, yeah. And I'm hearing the word limiting. The Eight of Swords upright can represent someone who is limiting themselves by their perceptions, their thoughts, their ideas, how they move. Is coming out in reverse, representing that this is something that he can do something about, but is choosing not to for his own. We talked about pride earlier, something that he thinks is important or he thinks should have value. In this particular situation, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Then above this Eight of Swords, we have the Five of Coins in the resistant position. So the Five of Coins can represent lack mentality, poverty mindset, malnourishment, the opposite of self-realization, self-actualization. It's in the resistant position, so he's kind of stuck. There's this disillusionment. This is not realizing things for what they are. This is an inability to pivot when needed. Earlier we talked about, or I'm not sure if we talked about that. I don't think we did. So on the left of the spread, we have the Four of Coins. The Four of Coins upright can represent stability. It can be self-preserving, saving, putting away for another day, a better day, stability. It's coming out in reverse. Something about him or the situation is unstable, but it's also giving me the energy of not having anything to build on. So something about his foundation, whether it's the foundation of his character, the foundation of his perception, the foundation of his self-image, as he projects himself as a celebrity in whatever his platform or his initial mission was, whether he's an artist or a musician or actor, something like that. Something about the foundation is compromised in regards to his perception, and how he's perceived as well. And underneath it, we have the star card. So, to be honest, I'm getting no resolve. Unfortunately, it's giving me stagnant energy. So, I'm looking at a lake or a body of water that's still. You heard of the expression, still waters run deep? It's giving still waters energy. There's no movement. Still waters. There's no movement. And I'm also getting like how important circulation, blood circulation is in the body. If you could put it into that type of imagery, he's getting poor circulation in his body representing the team of people that he has as a celebrity that helps him with his self-image and leverages to get things moving. There's poor circulation in his body and his team management. We also have on the left side of these two cards the Two of Wands in reverse. I'm hearing the words lack of improvement with the Two of Wands in reverse. The Two of Wands is planning, brainstorming, vision, having a vision, writing it down. It's a preparation before actually taking action. It's in reverse. So I'm hearing the word bleak, and there is this acknowledgement of that it's very hard to make plans or maintain a vision because of this situation. Even from his team or this person on the right of him that is kind of like his closest person that works for him that helps move things along. It's hard for them to really make plans because everything depends on a lot of the things that he doesn't want to deal with or address. So it's kind of like it's looking real bleak, his career. On the far left of the spread, earlier we talked about this Ace of Wands. There's a lot of inspiration. I tried to put two words together accidentally. Inspiration. There's a lot of inspiration. There's a lot of creativity that this person, that this reading for, this celebrity, this male celebrity, he has a lot of creativity, a lot of fire, a lot of drive. But unfortunately, because of his situation and his lack of wanting to put his pride aside, it's like smothered. His light's being smothered. Underneath that, we have the Six of Swords. I keep on forgetting. What is the Six of Swords in the... Oh, okay. In the traditional tarot. Because the imagery is so different. The Six of Swords is the child and the woman in a boat. And someone is like rowing the boat. So it can typically represent moving on. But I'm hearing the word letting go. Letting go in a way is to move on. Sometimes moving on requires us to let go something or leave something behind. And he's not willing to do that, as been, said in so many ways in this reading, leading to stagnancy. So these two things contribute to his lack of being able to fully express his vision, to move forward in his endeavors. Going back to the, I think it was the top of the deck, undercurrent energy earlier in the reading, in the beginning of the reading, was the death card we talked about. This is the first card that we acknowledge in the beginning of the reading. The death card can represent transition, moving forward, something dying, but knowing that there is an opportunity for a rebirth even in death. The death card came out in reverse for this person. So we talked about earlier in the reading, them being in resistance to change, to transformation. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is the energy of overcoming. It's 7 against 1 or 6 against 1. So that energy of like other people not really, in this particular case pertaining to this reading, it's not necessarily that people are against him, like I said, for like malicious reasons or like the industry is blackballing him, but they're not for him either. And there's something that he can do on his end to kind of help them understand the situation better. Like I said, there is this energy of him needing to provide an explanation, and he's not willing to. So it's coming out in the choice point position. So I do see that the offer on the table for him, the best solution for him right now would be to kind of like, it's the energy of calling a meeting, sitting down with a group of people and explaining his intentions, explaining what it is that he wants to do, being in a humble space where, I don't like it either, but it's like giving people the authority to tell you no. It's like more than likely there's gonna be some hoops that he's gonna jump through, or some kind of bullshit rhetoric that he already knows what's up and he's just not really for it. And to seal the deal, underneath this Seven of Wands that we just talked about, we have Judgment. It's something that he's not wanting to face. And I'm hearing the words call the shots. He wants to call the shots. He wants to be the only authority in his life. And while that's understandable in certain circumstances, going back to his Page of Swords energy representing his need for personal development regarding his communication and how he interacts with other people, in general, his ability to collaborate with other people. The Three of Coins came out in reverse. He needs some development with that. And that's what's going to take in order for him to get into a better position. On the far right of the spread, we have the Ten of Cups in the choice point position. So Ten of Cups can represent emotional fulfillment. He needs the green light. Unfortunately, he's in a position in his life where he needs the green light from someone else. He can't do it for himself. So we have the Knight of Coins in reverse. He has a gift. He has something of value to bring to the people as well, but it'll probably never come to fruition unless he learns this lesson. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I'm glad that I went ahead and finished it out. Again, if this message resonates with you, like the video so I know that the message was received. There was something else that I wanted to talk about earlier, but I guess I forgot. Yeah, angels, guides, ancestors, God, God source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I remember. Most of my videos that I've done this far are live videos. So if you like this video, check out the live videos and any other videos that I have on this channel to see if they resonate with you. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. Bye.